Hey, I'm Al, and welcome to our second Creator Campfire chat. Nestled here in the banks of the St. Johns River, catching a beautiful reflection on the river, and that's kind of a great little analogy there, because just as the sun reflects on the river here, it's time to talk about your own reflection upon yourself in the mirror of entrepreneurship. Whatever idea, concept, vision, magic, great product you're creating as a creator, I'm going to highly suggest that you get a mirror. It doesn't have to be a big mirror, it could be a small mirror, but as long as you can see an actual reflection in it, because it takes an honest discussion with yourself in the mirror for you to undertake what you're about to undertake. I created a little acronym for this whole mirror concept. My ego tripping and trashing acceptance level. That's right, what's your medal? In other words, you have to go ahead and go through a series of questions to test your medal. What if no one cares? In our previous blog, we talked about how important it is for people to care about your idea, but what adjustments are you gonna make, if any, if people don't care? What if the money dries up? What if investors say, hey, listen, we can't give you any more dollars? Maybe they care about the idea, but they're just out of money. Whatever the reason is, if that money dries up, what's your next step? What if your idea doesn't work? What if you get from point A to point B and maybe even to point C, but you still got 4 points to get to and you can't get there because the idea doesn't work? What's your next step? What if others come into the picture and make your idea better? It was your idea, but somebody had a way to make it better. Is your ego, is your confidence level sound enough for you to be able to and willing to accept that so that you can have a successful product or idea or concept at the end of the day? What if people love your idea, but they don't love you? What if they don't want you, but they want your idea because they can even make their idea better? Boy, that's a punch in the gut. But that's the risk you're taking, because somebody may see that idea and that concept and they may have a plan to take it elsewhere, and that plan may not include you. Now, on the other hand, what if you're wildly successful? What if you blow it out of the water and you got people who care and they're sharing and you got wild raving fans all over the place? How are you going to deal with that success? Because that's an emotional high. That's going to test your ego in another perspective. What if you get rich? What if all of a sudden this thing lands you in Forbes and Fortune magazine and you're the next big hot thing? That's going to come with its own set of issues. You need to be prepared to be wildly successful and get rich. And what if you become a rock star? That's all part of the same picture. How are you going to handle your own fame? So a moment ago, we talked about all these questions to ask yourself. You know, what do I do if this happens? How do I react if that happens? So obviously the first to do is to actually go through a process of looking in a mirror and ask yourself those questions. It makes a difference, because there's nobody else to give you false answers back unless you want to lie to yourself, which obviously we don't encourage. Item number 2, ask your friends, family, and peers how they see you handling failure. That's a gutsy thing to do, and it means kind of filleting that soul again, but it's fairly safe territory, because these are people who care about you and are invested in you and they want to see you succeed. So they're hopefully going to be honest with you. But ask them some of the same questions. How do you think I handle failure? If this happened, how do you think I would react? Because they're gonna have a different perspective from the reflection that you have looking at yourself. Okay, let's move on to number 3. Get yourself a journal. And one of the first things I'm gonna suggest you do is write down why you started this journey. What motivated you to do what you're doing, to create this idea, this project, this dream, this vision you have? Put it down on paper. Even if you've written it down before is not the same moment as right now, because you're at a different point of your evolution. So write it down. This is sort of like the grounding and the foundation, so that when you look in the mirror and you do face failure and you're having to take some punches to the gut, you can be reminded of what started this path and this journey for you. Also, write down why you care about what you're doing and what you care about. In our first blog, we talked extensively about the importance of not only other people caring about your idea, but you caring and understanding that. Sort of going along with that foundation concept, if you write down why you care and what you care about, it can serve to help you kind of firm up that foundation when the ground gets a little bit shaky if things don't go successfully all the time. Now this last one can seem a little self-serving and a little egotistical. In fact, it's okay to stroke your ego here, because your ego's going to get beat up along the way anyway, so pump it up a little bit. 2 lists, one from you and one from your friends, peers, stakeholders, valued confidants, about the most valuable traits that they respect in you and why they think this business is going to be successful and what traits about you will make them successful. First of all, again, kind of helps resurface as a foundation for you, kind of reminds you, okay, I know I took a hit over here, but that's actually something I do pretty well, so I know how to fix it. Also, it's kind of a confidence boost. All right, these folks are hopefully going to be honest with you, and you're going to be honest with yourself. So that brings up the very last point, and that is, in all of this process right here, you got to be honest with yourself. Remember I said mirrors don't lie? That's not actually true. The image doesn't lie, but you can fool the mirror if you don't really say the truth yourself. So as you complete this journey and continue this journey, I ask that you be honest first and foremost as you take a look in that mirror, because only through that honest expression and that honest exchange with you, yourself, and you and that mirror are you going to find the metal to make it to the finish line, finishing first. Good luck, and we'll talk to you next time. Hey, thanks for hanging out. Leave your questions or comments in the video comments section. You can tweet them to @B1Spark using the hashtag Campfire Chats. Check us out December 18th. Tune in at 1 o'clock for Creator Campfire Chats Live, where we'll answer your questions and dive deeper into the topics we cover in these videos. And hey, don't forget to subscribe to the OneSpark channel and go to b1spark.com to learn more about showcasing your project in 2014.